many of you are real community advocates, and it's really nice to see you here tonight, and we do see many of you at City Hall, and those who don't get to City Hall, I hope you'll get there soon. It's certainly nice in this format. In City Hall, you're always sort of jammed into a little area where we can't really see each other very well, but this is a very nice open format. I came into politics through soccer, through the vision that I had at that time as president of Carrollsdale Soccer Club of having enough playing fields for kids so that kids and families would be out on the fields. And getting children playing in parts of town where they weren't playing at all. At that time there was really no soccer at all on the downtown east side. So that was really what made me interested in politics and interested in going onto the park board at the time. So I still always keep that vision in my mind of, if your kids are out playing soccer, that's good. If your kids can walk to school, that's even better. And so I think that's really my goal in the city, is to have children walking to school. So that's a livable community. Carl did ask a little bit about policy, so I have a policy answer for you here, which is how did we get to where we are right now? It started in City Plan, which George just had the book for. Are many of you involved in City Plan in the 90s? Any hands up? Not very many, a couple people. So City Plan was, as Councillor Chow said, that was Gordon Campbell's proposal to go around from neighbourhood to neighbourhood. There were 9 separate neighbourhood plans done. The most recent one is West Point Grey, just completed. And out of those 9 neighbourhood plans came the local vision implementation teams. Some of you probably are on those committees. Anybody on the vision committees? Yeah, there we are, a few more people on those. So those are the local committees in those 9 areas. There are still a lot of areas that are completely left out of that process. The West End, Marpole being 2 really key examples of neighbourhoods which really need to have their plans updated due to different development pressures. So we ended up with the visions, but the visions weren't an implementation plan. They were just what people liked to see in their own communities. That was important, but there wasn't much of a how-to in there. When I was elected with Mayor Sam Sullivan in 2005, we wanted to put an environmental stamp on development decisions. So we proposed the ecodensity initiative, which then went out for community consultations. And what we ended up with as a finished product was, well, a finished policy, I should say, was a number of action items, but all with the thought that what we want to do in Vancouver is think about our environment and how density done right and done in the right places is good for the environment. Now, mainly we were thinking about a downtown model. So if you're building a 30-story building downtown, why not build a 35-story or even a 40-story building? Because those are people who walk to work, whose kids will walk to school, and who can have a very local neighborhood area around them. That was really the main goal of ecodensity, was to embrace density as being good for the environment, because I'll give you a little environmental statistic here, which is that the city of Vancouver is one of the few world jurisdictions that's actually going to make the Kyoto target of reducing greenhouse gases below 1990 levels. It's kind of a complicated equation. But in fact, Vancouver is doing it. And in the main, we're doing it because of the density downtown. It's not so much in the more suburban areas of the city. So that was really our goal in the ecodensity, was to think about those really dense nodes. It was not to talk about changing the whole city. So it did get a bit sort of changed in people's minds that the city would be stood on its head. That certainly was not the intention. The intention was to think about how to do density well in the real urban nodes. So for example, some new nodes that we're thinking about right now that many of you have been involved in the discussion of are Cambie and Southwest Marine, Oak Ridge Centre, along the Cambie corridor. And I guess those are probably the 2 sort of most active discussions for higher density right now. And that's time to wrap up. But that's the policy background of City Plan and ecodensity in a very short summary of it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.